From rejection to revolution, how embracing no can change your world. Welcome to the Black CEO podcast, where we dive deep into the minds of trailblazers who are redefining success and challenging the status quo. Today, we have the extraordinary privilege of sharing insights from a true game changer, a woman who has not only broken barriers, but has completely rewritten the rulebook. I'm talking about none other than Sharron Christian, a visionary who has revolutionized the world of golf, and in doing so has shown us all how to turn rejection into our greatest asset. Now, before we dive in, let me tell you something about Sharron Christian. This woman isn't just changing the face of golf, she's reshaping the very landscape of possibility. Her impact extends far beyond the greens and fairways. Sharron is a beacon of hope for countless individuals who've been told they don't belong, a living testament to the power of perseverance, and a masterclass in turning adversity into advantage. Her work isn't just about sports, it's about social justice, equality, and the audacious belief that we all have the power to change the world, one swing at a time. So buckle up, folks. The insights we're about to share from my recent interview with Sharron aren't just game changing, they're life altering. And who knows, by the end of this talk, you might just find yourself looking at rejection in a whole new light. Picture this: a crisp morning, dew still clinging to the manicured grass of an exclusive country club. The air is thick with tradition, privilege, and, let's face it, a fair bit of stuffy elitism. Now, into this rarefied atmosphere strides Sharron Christian, young, black, female, and carrying a set of golf clubs like she owns the place. Can you feel the record scratch, the sudden silence, the weight of 100 questioning gazes? That, my friends, is the sound of the status quo being shaken to its core. And let me tell you, it's music to my ears. Now, you might be thinking, golf? Really? How groundbreaking can that be? Oh, my sweet summer child, let me enlighten you. In the world of starch collars and country club memberships, Sharron's presence wasn't just unexpected, it was revolutionary. But here's where it gets interesting. Sharron didn't just show up to play the game. Oh no, she came to change it from the inside out. And the secret weapon in her golf bag, rejection. Yes, you heard that right, rejection. Now, I know what you're thinking. Rejection, that thing we all dread, that soul crushing, confidence shattering experience we try to avoid at all costs. Yep, that's the one. But stick with me here because Sharron's about to flip your whole perspective on its head. You see, when Sharron first stepped onto that golf course, she wasn't met with open arms. Oh no, she was met with raised eyebrows, skeptical glances, and closed doors. But here's where Sharron's story takes a fascinating turn. Instead of letting rejection defeat her, she decided to embrace it. She made rejection her dance partner, and boy, did they tango. Sharron's philosophy: if they don't open the door for you, you have two choices. Make them open it with your sheer audacity, or build your own damn door and strut right through it. And let me tell you, Sharron became a master architect of her own doors. But let's back up for a second. How did Sharron develop this audacious approach to rejection? It all started with the simple realization: rejection is nothing more than an opinion. And opinions, well, they're like noses. Everybody's got one, but that doesn't mean you have to smell what they're shoveling. Sharron shared a story with me that perfectly illustrates this point. Early in her golfing career, she approached a prestigious country club seeking membership. Now, picture this: Sharron, in all her glory, standing before the club manager, a man who looked like he'd swallowed a golf ball and it got stuck halfway down. This manager, with all the tact of a bull in a china shop, looked Sharron up and down and said, "I'm sorry, but we don't think you'd be a good fit here." Um, Now, most people would have tucked tail and run, but Sharron, she smiled. And not just any smile. It was the kind of smile that makes you wonder if she knows something you don't. She leaned in close and said, "That's funny, because I think I'm exactly what this place needs. How about we make a bet? If I can outdrive your best player, you give me a chance." The manager, thinking he was about to teach this upstart a lesson, agreed. Big mistake, huge. Long story short, Sharron didn't just outdrive their best player. She left him in the dust. That day, she didn't just earn a membership, she earned respect. And more importantly, she learned a valuable lesson. Rejection is often just an invitation to prove them wrong. But Sharron's journey wasn't all hole in ones and victory laps. There were plenty of times when the rejection stung, when the doors seemed too thick to break down. It was during these moments that Sharron developed what she calls her rejection resilience. She explained it to me like this: rejection resilience isn't about not feeling the pain of rejection. It's about feeling it, acknowledging it, and then using it as fuel. It's like when you're working out. If you don't feel the burn, you're not getting stronger. Same goes for rejection. If it doesn't sting a little, you're not pushing hard enough. This mindset shift was game changing. Suddenly, every no became a not yet. Every closed door became a challenge to find a window, or, in true Sharron style, to build a whole new house. But here's where Sharron's story gets really interesting. As she started to gain traction in the golfing world, she realized something profound. The very thing that made her an outsider, her background, her perspective, her tenacity, was actually her superpower. She didn't fit the mold of a typical golfer, and that was exactly her strength. She brought a fresh energy to the game, a new way of thinking that challenged the status quo, and people started to take notice. Sharron shared an anecdote that perfectly captures this. She was at a major tournament and a young girl, no more than 10 years old, approached her. The girl, wide eyed and nervous, said, "I've never seen someone who looks like me play golf before. Do you think I could do it too?" In that moment, Sharron realized that her journey wasn't just about her anymore. It was about paving the way for others, about showing that the face of golf and success could look different. She knelt down, looked that little girl in the eye, and said, "Sweetheart, you can do anything you set your mind to, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise." This realization led Sharron to her next big move, starting her own golf organization. But this wasn't your grandpa's golf club. Oh no, this was a revolution disguised as a sports organization. Sharron's club welcomed everyone, regardless of race, gender, or background. It was a place where the only prerequisite was passion, where the only dress code was enthusiasm. And you know what? It thrived. People flocked to it, drawn by the energy, the inclusivity, and the sheer audacity of it all. Suddenly, golf wasn't just a game for the elite few. It was a playground for anyone brave enough to pick up a club and take a swing. But here's the real kicker. As Sharron's organization grew, so did its influence. Suddenly, those same country clubs that had once turned her away were knocking on her door, asking for partnerships, for insights, for a piece of the magic she had created. And Sharron, well, she welcomed them with open arms because she understood something fundamental about success and change. It's not about getting revenge or proving people wrong. It's about creating something so undeniably brilliant that people can't help but take notice. This brings us to one of the most powerful lessons from Sharron's journey: the importance of believing in your vision, even when no one else does. Sharron put it this way: your vision is like your heartbeat. You can't expect others to feel it, but as long as you can feel it, as long as it drives you, that's all that matters. She shared a story about the early days of her organization. Money was tight, sponsors were scarce, and there were plenty of naysayers. One particularly discouraging day, a potential investor looked at her business plan and said, "This will never work. Golf is a gentleman's game. You're trying to change too much, too fast." For a moment, doubt crept in. But then Sharron remembered why she started this journey in the first place. She looked the investor in the eye and said, "Sir, with all due respect, that's exactly why it will work. The world is ready for a new kind of gentleman's game, one that welcomes ladies and gentlemen of all kinds." That investor didn't come on board, but Sharon's unwavering belief in her vision attracted others who did. And slowly but surely, her dream began to take shape. But let's be real for a second. This journey wasn't all inspirational quotes and triumphant moments. There were sleepless nights, moments of doubt, times when the weight of it all felt too heavy to bear. Sharron was candid about these moments, and her honesty was refreshing. She talked about the toll it took on her personal life, the sacrifice she had to make. There were missed family events, strained relationships, and times when she questioned if it was all worth it. But even in these dark moments, Sharron found strength. She developed what she calls her emotional toolbox, a set of strategies to help her navigate the tough times. Meditation, journaling, and surrounding herself with a strong support system were all key tools in this box. But perhaps the most powerful tool was perspective. Sharron explained it like this: whenever things got really tough, I'd imagine myself 10 years in the future looking back on this moment. Would I regret giving up, or would I be proud that I pushed through? The answer was always the same: keep going. This ability to zoom out, to see the bigger picture, was crucial in Sharron's journey. It allowed her to weather the storms, to keep her eye on the prize, even when the path was unclear. As our interview neared its end, I asked Sharron what advice she would give to others facing seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Her answer was both simple and profound. Make rejection your best friend. She elaborated. Most people run from rejection. They see it as a sign that they're not good enough, that they should give up. But that's backwards thinking. Rejection is just a sign that you're pushing boundaries, that you're attempting something worthwhile. So don't just accept rejection. Seek it out. Let it guide you. Let it shape you, because each rejection is just redirecting you to where you need to go. Sharron's words struck a chord. How many of us have let rejection hold us back? How many dreams have been abandoned at the first sign of a no? But Sharron's story shows us a different way. It shows us that rejection isn't the end of the road. It's often just the beginning. It's a chance to reassess, to get creative, to dig deep and find strength we didn't know we had. As we wrapped up our conversation, Sharron left us with one final thought. Success isn't about avoiding failure. It's about failing forward. It's about taking each no and turning it into a watch me. Because at the end of the day, the only permission you need to succeed is your own. This Sharron Christian's journey from outsider to industry leader is more than just an inspiring story. It's a roadmap for anyone who's ever felt like they don't belong, for anyone who's ever been told no, for anyone who's ever dared to dream big. Her story teaches us that our greatest strengths often lie in the very things that make us different. It shows us that rejection is not a roadblock, but a redirect. And perhaps most importantly, it reminds us that the power to change our circumstances, and indeed to change entire industries, lies within each of us. So, as we close this episode of the Black CEO podcast, I want to leave you with a challenge that echoes the audacity, the resilience, and the revolutionary spirit of Sharron Christian. Here it is. This week, I want you to seek out rejection. Yes, you heard me right. I want you to deliberately put yourself in situations where you might hear no. Apply for that job you think you're not qualified for. Pitch that wild idea in your next meeting. Ask for that raise you've been hesitating to bring up. But here's the twist. For every rejection you receive, I want you to say, thank you for this redirection, because that's what it is. It's not a dead end. It's a new path opening up. And then I want you to do something that would make Sharron proud. I want you to ask yourself, how can I turn this no into a not yet? How can you use this rejection as fuel to propel you forward, to innovate, to create something even better than what you originally envisioned? Remember, every no you receive is just making room for the right yes. Every door that closes is an opportunity to build your own. Every rejection is a chance to refine your vision, to strengthen your resolve, and to prove the naysayers wrong. So go out there and collect those rejections like badges of honor. Wear them proudly. Let them guide you to where you need to go. Because who knows, the next rejection you face might just be the catalyst for your own revolution. In the words of Sharron Christian, don't just accept rejection, seek it out. Let it guide you. Let it shape you. Because at the end of the day, it's not about avoiding rejection. It's about embracing it, learning from it, and using it to fuel your journey to success. So, my fellow revolutionaries, are you ready to embrace rejection? Are you prepared to turn every no into a watch me? The world is waiting for your unique vision, your audacious ideas, your unwavering determination. It's time to step up, swing hard, and show the world what you're made of. Remember, in the game of life, it's not about perfect shots. It's about having the courage to take the swing in the first place. So grab your metaphorical golf clubs, step up to the tee, and get ready to drive your dreams further than you ever thought possible. The course is yours. The game is changing. And you, my friend, are the champion the world has been waiting for. Now go out there and make rejection your secret weapon. The revolution starts with you. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Black CEO podcast. Until next time, keep pushing boundaries, keep defying expectations, and above all, keep believing in your vision. Because as Sharron Christian proved, sometimes all it takes to change the game is the courage to play it your way. Now go forth and revolutionize your world. The first tee is waiting and history is yours to make. Swing away